we're not going to stop talking about this. What? We're not going to stop talking about the reckoning. We're not going to stop talking about the system. We're not going to stop talking about the fact our cultural institutions are broken, lying, rotted, and corrupt. And we're not going to stop talking about the fact they committed murder. They did, several times over. They destroyed lives. Even the ones they didn't murder, they destroyed lives. Yeah, I'm still talking about coronavirus. And I understand. Look, I get completely. We have a Supreme Court nominee. Jackson, she's going through all these hearings. There's all these sound bites. Look, I'm not going to ignore that. Jackson going to the Supreme Court, which she will, is not the biggest story in America. Russia, Ukraine is not the biggest story in America. Your government just spent 2 years, federal, state, local level, abusing you at every turn. And now they're dying for what? For you to forget. That's what they want. They're dying for you to forget all about it, let it go, do that thing the abused spouse often does as soon as the beatings stop. All of a sudden, you're grateful. Thanks for not hitting me anymore, honey. It is critical we do not do that. It is critical the people, the monsters who have done this to our country are held to account. We must have a reckoning. And I don't mean lock her up chants at a rally. I don't mean resignations. People must go to prison for what they've done. You know what the CDC just did? They said there was an algorithm problem, a coding logic error. Apparently that's a computer term, a coding logic error. Okay, well, what's that mean? What's the significance of it? Well, once they fixed the problem, it turns out coronavirus death statistics have to be adjusted by over 70,000. Significant reductions in the deadliness of it to children. Okay, so why am I so upset? Why is that a big deal? Can't you see what's happening? Now that the midterms are coming up, now that coronavirus isn't the sexy thing in the news, now that people were sick of lockdowns, now that people want it to end, miraculously, the CDC is finding coding logic errors. And all of a sudden, it's not quite as deadly as it was before. This seems to be a consistent theme, time after time after time, where they will put something out there trying to force the public into something or manipulate the public into something. They'll put something out there for political purposes, and then the second it stops becoming politically convenient, they just drop it like a hot potato. Okay, well, you destroyed a lot of lives telling us coronavirus was this deadly. I'm sorry, you don't get to now just do a coding logic error that says it's this deadly and say, whoopsie, glad we fixed that, because we all know what the game is. Midterms are coming, and you don't want to make coronavirus look like a big deal. This has nothing to do with science or doctors or medicine or coronavirus. This has everything to do with politics, which means they could have dropped all this at any time. When your family business was going under, oh, they could have dropped it. When you were saying goodbye to your mother for the last time over a Zoom call, they could have dropped it. When your brother got hooked on drugs again and overdosed and killed himself, they could have dropped it. They didn't. They waited until, oh man, we got some bad poll numbers. Let's adjust the coding error. Evil. That's murder. Lie after lie after lie after lie. Do you remember all the times they told you the vaccine is going to stop the spread? Do you remember? Do you remember some of the things they said? Here's the CDC.
Our vaccines are working exceptionally well. They continue to work well for Delta with regard to severe illness and death. They prevent it. But what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission. So if you're going home to somebody who has not been vaccinated, to somebody who can't get vaccinated, somebody who might be immunosuppressed or a little bit frail, somebody who has comorbidities that put them at high risk, I would suggest you wear a mask in public indoor settings.
Nobody said waning. When you know, oh, this vaccine's going to work. Oh, well, maybe it'll work. It'll wear off. Nobody said, well, what if the next variant doesn't? It's not as potent against the next variant.
Did you hear what she said? What they can't do anymore is stop the spread. Because I know you remember the CDC saying get vaccinated, stop coronavirus. Get vaccinated, it'll stop the spread. And doesn't stop the spread at all, not even a little bit. And so they go on TV and say, well, what it can't do anymore is stop the spread. No, it could never stop the spread. And you lied through your teeth about it. And then when your lies were once again exposed and you were taking a political hit for it, you decided to say, well, look, it was stopping the spread, but now it can't do that anymore. It's a miracle. I don't know, something went wrong. Oh, these people are monsters. That Dr. Witch on CNN, Dr. Leana Wen, she, of course, used to head up Planned Parenthood. So once she was done overseeing the mass slaughter of innocent babies, she moved on to CNN, where she would push communism for coronavirus reasons time and time and time again on the American people. This is the woman who went on camera several times and said we should have interstate travel restrictions for the unvaccinated. Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. Stop, show me your papers or you can't come into Delaware. Well, now she's all over CNN saying, all right, I mean, look, we got to back off. These things aren't popular, but we can bring them back whenever we want.
I'm not saying that we should be stopping masking, but rather that this needs to shift from a government requirement to an individual decision. The government can't keep on telling our citizens that this is a 5-alarm fire all the time. People are just going to start tuning it out and not pay attention. They'll be desensitized. And so what needs to happen is we need to end the state of emergency and preserve the ability of public health authorities to reinstitute mandates in the future if we see more and more dangerous variants later.
Yeah.
I call her Dr. Witch for a reason. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me, like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.